I'm at the site where they dumped all this freaking cooking oil or whatever. Holy smokes, man. And this stuff is running off, man. Man, and it smells horrible. And it's running off, and you can see all the dead grass. They've been dumping this stuff out here for a while, man. So we're not getting the whole report, you know, because this stuff is running off, and it's running on back here. Wow. This is unfreaking real, man. These companies, man. And it's flowing on down there, and it's leaching into the ground. And this stuff is all back in here, man. Oh my God. It's kind of slick too. And it's run all back in here. And I can't tell whether this is just dead from the pine needles or what. But it's all back in here, and it's sitting on still hasn't permeated in the ground. And man, it ran off all over around this holy smoke, my hand's shaking, sorry people, but this is crazy. It's run off all around that fence. Man, this is unreal. This is unreal. And nobody's here cleaning it up. It was reported, and you see, it's running on up there. And you can see the dead grass on up there. That looks like it must have run out into there and started killing the grass. But that's all, you know, you can see. It's flowed out there. I mean, I gotta walk back through this. Wow. Wow, man. It's all over the place out here. And it doesn't look like much has been done to stop it, you know. And as I walked out here, there's other signs that they've been dumping out here for a long time. You know, because, God, look at that. And it flows out there, I'm gonna say another 100 feet. And then over here is where it flowed off even more. And it's still flowing. It is still flowing. You know, that's water flowing. Sorry to repeat myself, but this is crazy, you know, and they know about it, but this is all they've done to try to prevent it from flowing, but yet it's flowing right underneath it. And it's flowed all out in there, and there's another dead spot out there where it's flowing that direction, and it's still flowing from here. And this is their solution. Put this little shit on top of the ground, and that's gonna fix it and stop it from overflowing and running all over the place. We're not getting the whole story. This is freaking me out, man. Wow. Man, you gotta be kidding me. These companies that make money hauling this stuff off and then save money because they don't properly dispose of it. And then they blame the driver. And I highly doubt that he did it by choice. I believe he stated he would have lost his job. Man. And more. You know, and it flowed all out here. And they have put no absorbent on it. Nothing to absorb this stuff. You know, you could put kitty litter on it and it would start absorbing it. But no, they're just going to let it permeate into the ground. And the officials say, oh, no big deal. No public safety thing. Well, you wait till I get back over to the other side. I think you're going to have some real concern about the public safety of where this stuff was dumped. And man, it's all over the bottom of my shoes. Oh, God. Yeah. And here's more of the dumping. You know, they've been dumping back here for God knows how long. And it goes way up there, and it comes on down, and it flows around the corner. Man. No, and you know, these dark spots on the road. Oh, hell, it's not just dark spots on the road. Look at this up here. So they've dumped stuff up here, you know, and here's a sign of a tire track where they backed in and dumped it and took off and almost got stuck. But this different color in the pavement is a sign that when they dumped it, it overflowed and ran down there, and then it runs on down where I was walking out in the woods. And nobody's cleaning this stuff up. You know, this should have absorbent over it everywhere. And all the color of all of this. You know, this is a for sure sign. That's not just water. That's where they, you know, it's stained. Because that's what oil and grease, cooking oil does. So this entire area was dumped on at one time. So they've been coming back here for God knows how long, dumping this shit. And you can see the multiple tracks in the road that were left behind. So they've been coming out here for God knows how long, dumping this. And this is, you know, I started way up there by that semi that's way up there. And I walked down through and I started noticing the different colors in the asphalt. And it's because they have been dumping here. And it flows all down there. And then it flows out into that lower land, which is planted with pine trees. But it could have been wetland at one time. And now it's all absorbing in the freaking ground. Man, you gotta be kidding me. And I'm fixing to spin around and show you why it really is a public health and safety concern. Okay, there's the low-lying land. Can you see that tower between the trees? That is a water tower. And I'm gonna walk on over here because I'm walking down a two-way track, that shows signs that they may have been coming out here even closer to this municipal potable water source. And who knows if they were dumping out there. And this is freaking me out. Wow. And you know, this was just made aware to the people, I believe yesterday, in a Spectrum News report. But you know, it's taking me a couple minutes to walk. So what is it? A couple hundred feet away from a freaking municipal well that probably feeds tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people with water. Because that thing on the top of that big tank is an aeration system where water is pumped up out of the ground and it's got the sulfur smell in it. They aerate it and the sulfur leaves. So this is that's a good sign that this is a public well. You know, the public well, where they pump our water up out of the ground and then sell it to us. And they're dumping this shit right here. Yeah, because, I mean, yeah, all the signs of a well, because that's a pump over there, or it looks to be a pump, some kind of pump. And then you got the valves and stuff above the ground. And I would imagine combustible, non-smoking, that could be chlorine. It could be, you know, the way they treat the water, because I believe this is a treatment facility. And yet they're dumping this shit on the ground only 400 or 500 feet away. Wow, man. And I don't know what made all these tracks back here, but I can't help but walk on down and see where this may take me. Man, the disregard for our earth, all for freaking money. And how much money are they actually saving? A few dollars? that they're being paid for anyway? I mean, they're paid to pick that stuff up. You're supposed to be taking it up to a Orlando processing center where it gets reused into something. But instead, they dump it out here. And then the owner blames it on the driver, and the driver claims he was told to do it and would lose his job if he didn't. And people are going to say, well, why would the owner dump something he could make money with? I believe he was making money hauling it. And he was probably being charged to dispose of it. So let's dispose of it somewhere where I don't get charged. Wow. Well, it's not looking like this really goes anywhere, and I don't think one of those septic tank pumping trucks could make it through here, but you never know. But I'm looking for other signs of dead grass. Because believe me, as soon as I got off the sidewalk, I could smell that rank smell. It smells like a grease trap, you know, back behind the restaurant. It's a horrible smell. Well, I don't know, man. It looks like something's been through here recently, but I don't know what it might have been, and that's a really long walk. So I'm gonna let it go, and hopefully they don't ever come back and dump any more, and hopefully they haven't dumped anything out there, because I don't know, these are pretty good signs of tracks that some big trucks have come through here. And they've come through here so many times. This is an area where they're getting stuck, so they started driving over there. And I don't know, man. It's crazy how people will abuse private property, you know, whether it's private or not, abuse the earth, our foundation, all to save a few bucks. And then the freaking driver goes to jail. And what are they going to do with the owner? Because he's responsible for that driver. No matter what that driver does, that owner of that truck is responsible. But will they hold him accountable? You know, because I know the driver bailed out for like $2,000, but he probably put that money up himself. And I'm not saying there's not a chance that that driver dumped it himself. Just chose to not do his job and take it where he's supposed to. You know, I mean, if he's an hourly driver, it would make sense that he would be paid to go dump it where it's supposed to be dumped, all the way in Orlando. But the signs on this site up here, they've been dumping this stuff for a long time. Wow. Well, let me put this on pause. You know, this is really shameful. It's shameful that the driver dumped it, whether he was told to or not. It's shameful that a company would allow it to happen this way. But the more shameful part is that there are trucks, like the truck that dumped it, they have the ability to suck it back up. You know, that could have been part of the punishment. You start sucking this stuff back up right now before it runs off any further. Because the clouds are building, the rain is coming. And that's going to wash all that stuff further down into that low-lying area and allow more of it to permeate into the ground. And this could take weeks before they get out here and clean this up. And that little shit they put on that one side is not stopping it from flowing out into the ground. You know, up here on the asphalt is permeable. But at least it stops it from permeating in so fast. But man, they've been dumping this shit here for a long time, and nobody has moved to start cleaning it up. You know, you would think this would be an emergency response. You know, they're saying it's the largest oil spill in Polk County ever. Well, why isn't somebody here? It's simple. Pull a truck in there and suck that stuff up before it washes away. Because, oh, sorry, let me pan back out. But that right there is all full of oil, cooking oil, and whatever's in cooking oil. You know, this is stagnant. I forget the word for it because I don't work in restaurants, but it's rancid oil that is leaching into our ground. This is unfreaking believable. And here's more signs that this dumping's been going on for a lot longer, because all of this right here, you know, this is all up here, that this is all run off. There's a dead spot right there, you know, and this is all sandy soil, which absorbs things pretty fast. That's probably why they did it. But this is all stuff that was dumped who knows how long ago. Long enough to where it's already killed the grass and it's run away. I don't know what that hole's about. Somebody dug a hole, I guess, to see how deep it went. Looks like it went 3 or 4 inches deep. Already permeated in. Well, we don't know when this was dumped. Was it dumped yesterday, last week, last year? How fast is the permeability rate out here? And undoubtedly, this is a known sand skink area. I've seen these wooden bores as I've been walking around, and that's exactly how they check for sand skinks. I wonder if sand skinks like cooking oil, because I got it now. So a threatened endangered species called sand skink. And I promise you, I saw multiple of those with little 2x2 squares. And that's a sand skink study. Wow. Holy shit. But let me walk on around here and see if I see any more signs of where they may have dumped. You know, because they're really not doing shit to clean this up. I mean, this is probably at least 24 hours later. And, I mean, look at that. And these people, I mean, there's the water tower. You know, it's not that far away. 500 feet, maybe 1,000 at the most. Could it impact that water? I think so. Rancid oil and grease and chicken stuff or whatever was fried in it. And then of course you've got the individuals that bring their old, it's a diesel engine oil container. And I'm sure it's full of used motor oil that they bring out here and just dump. When you can take it to Discount Auto Parts, Advanced Auto Parts, and they have a container to recycle it for free. But there's the end down there where it's all containing or being held back, but it's flowing over. And when the rains come, it's going to flow it all over into that lowland. Well, here we are, man. Bad stuff.